Hello everyone, this is Abdul Samad Shah from Spire Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we have a very special guest, uh, influencer, you can say, an influencer in the Amazon business niche. Let's welcome Steven Pop to the show.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. So, Steven, can you share a little introduction about yourself and company? I don't know. I don't. I know that you don't need any introduction, but still, it's a format, so we have to follow.
My pleasure. So I am the owner and founder of My Amazon Guy and a bunch of other properties. My why is to level up the world so we can all impact each other and I think it's all of us against Amazon. I'm a TV reporter turned educational marketer. I have over 540 employees that work at My Amazon Guy, and we're always hiring, by the way. And we're continuing to level up and grow on our side too. So I'm just excited to be here. I love talking to people. I love being asked questions, and I love sharing knowledge. So thanks for having me on.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing introduction and details. And yeah, your contribution in the niche is not something which go ignored. So yeah, people. We also get a lot of applicants in our agencies, and they show that yeah, I completed my course from my Amazon guy, and this is my certificate. And yeah, it stays as credible document. So
I
yeah,
appreciate the compliment. Yeah, we had over 167,000 people apply to MAG, and we couldn't hire them all. I want to, but I can't, right? But I could at least help
yeah,
everybody, and that's why we started MAG School and gave out those certificates in SEO, PPC, design, catalog, you name it. We've got a course on it. We even just released our CTR course, by the way.
oh, that's great. That's great. And yeah, it's really great, and it's really a favor to other agencies as well because internal training is very difficult to set up. And when you have such academies and gurus who can train the source for you, then yeah, it's a great thing for us. So yeah, that's great.
As long as we can level up each
So
other.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Uh, so coming towards the today topic, it's about the product SEO and the main image CTR. I see you myself. You are talking about a lot these days about the main image CTR, and I also watch your videos about it. So why you are pushing it that much? Why you want to like? Is it the only thing on Amazon? Or what do you see?
So let's break this down. There's 1,000 things that you, me, or any Amazon seller can do right now at any given time. Right? You could spend time working on influencers on TikTok. You could buy Facebook ads. You could go learn Google. You could just learn template files in Amazon's PPC. There's 1,000 things that you can or could do at any given moment, right? But
Mhm.
there's only two, maybe three things that you actually should do today. And I'm here to tell
Mhm.
you, I'm here to preach the CTR gospel. And that is because it is 7 times harder to double your traffic. Excuse me, it is 7 times harder to double your conversion rate than it is to double your traffic. And
Mhm.
when we go into traffic and we look at SEO and PPC, CTR is 10 times easier to double than it is to double your SEO results or your PPC results. And the best thing about all of these things that we just talked about is that CTR affects your SEO, CTR affects your PPC, CTR affects your conversion rate. So it is the best of all worlds combined. And click through rate is the starting point of the journey to your customer, right? It's the
Mhm.
reason they click on your listing. And if you can't get clicks, nothing else matters. So when we talk today about this, I'll do some demonstrations and I'll kind of share screen about like what makes a good image and dive into a bunch of that. Um, and there's just a lot of resources and examples that we'll show at. So I'm excited to do this.
Mhm.
I'm excited to showcase this. So before I show like some before and afters, here's what I want to do. So we're at Amazon.com right now, and I want you to pick the item. You tell me what to search. You can choose anything you want. This is not pre-planned. I love doing live examples. So you pick the category. Tell me what to type.
Mhm. Great. Yeah, we can go for the dog leash.
We're going to do dog leash this
It's a very
time.
competitive product. Yeah.
Okay. So I type in dog leash, and as we scroll down, this is what we see. We see 4 ads and an organic listing. Now, the consumer, more than half of the people are going to click on one of the things that we see on the screen right now. And as we scroll down a second layer, we're going to get another 20 to 30% of people that will click on this, another 5% here, another 5% here, right? So that's the avenue that we're on. Now, when you look at these options, what immediately comes out to you? Like, what do you see? What one would you rather click on, and why?
Yeah. So uh, I would see like the main image, like the more, for example, the black one looks more attracting to me, and then the number of reviews.
Okay, so reviews definitely can influence CTR. There's no question. The reason why I'm
Yeah.
not going to talk about reviews today is because it's simply
Mhm.
very difficult to generate reviews. So
Yeah.
I believe we could find a listing with less reviews that is just as attractive and gets just as many clicks or
Mhm.
has high enough CTR. But you're right, it does influence it. But for purposes of today, we'll sidestep reviews. So what else do you see here? And the one on the left here is the one that you're most attracted to.
Yeah. The main image, it still looks very attractive to me.
And why is that?
Maybe they put it in a particular shape, and I also see some image, different colors as well.
So we're seeing options, right? And that's something that we're seeing true on every single one of these main images here. There's lots and lots of options. So when we think
Mhm.
about this and we look at the number one SEO listing with Voyager right there, they don't show options. So you didn't pick the one on the far right, even though that's the number one organically ranked listing. The reason it's probably organically ranked number one is simply probably because of price, right? And
Mhm.
so as we scroll down, they're the cheapest option on the market at $6.99 right there. So that's why they're probably in SEO spot one. So price can also influence CTR. Now, most people are
Mhm.
uncomfortable giving away their margins, but if you wanted the fastest way to increase CTR, uh, the easiest one
Mhm.
technically is to lower the price. Okay, so we've established that. But if you win on price today, though, what's the problem with that? You're going to lose on price tomorrow because at some point you can't sustain low prices, or somebody else will knock you off and sell it lower. So we've established that. So options. When we look at the 4 ads right here, every single one of them has the same thing in common. They show the options of color. They show us that, hey, we
Mhm.
can sell this in 5 plus different colors, right? So after that, all things are equal. They all offer black. You still pick the one on the left, probably because of the reviews. But if you didn't know what the reviews were, which one of these 4 would you pick and why?
Yeah, actually, there are two types of design on this screen. Like one is the rope type, and second one is the, you can see the other types, the other four ones. So if I look at the other four ones, then the second will be my second option because of the bestseller, and again the
So
I
badges.
see more options. Yeah,
Okay, so
in the colors.
having the badge can also influence CTR, and they're the best
Yeah.
seller in standard dog leashes. The best seller badge is by far the number one influencer on getting more sales, which is ironic, right? You need
Mhm.
sales to get sales on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Hard stop, which is weird, right? But if you don't have any sales, it's hard to get more sales. But the more sales you get, the easier it is to get more sales. So you need more sales to get more sales on Amazon. So bestseller badge is a case in point. That's going to super help. Now, most of us Amazon sellers are never going to have a bestseller badge. So we can't optimize for that It's just a reward at the end of the tunnel. All right. So one thing you haven't said yet, and it surprised me, is the dog. Why didn't the dog attract you to click on him?
Hmm. Yeah, I was coming to this one. I didn't notice the dog, to be honest,
Didn't notice the
but I
dog.
was
He's
coming
too
to
small.
that.
He's too small, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if we
Yeah,
scroll down and looked at all of these various listings, we do see an element of a dog here and there. But by and large, it's become an afterthought to the entire category. And that's an interesting thing. So if we were going to try and differentiate us from the competition, one way you could do that is to do what Bark Bay did right here and show a big dog in the main image.
yeah,
Right? This is a showstopper. This stopped my
mm,
scrolling. It's a scroll stopper. It's a
yeah,
showstopper. This dog,
exactly.
we're talking a dog bed showing up on a dog leash keyword, but at least they have the dog
Mm,
there, right? So
yeah,
one of the clients that I worked with, I'm going to open another tab for this, was Easy Whelp, and good friend of mine. Go to church with the guy, and one of the first things that we did for this brand was to add dogs onto their pee pads.
mm,
And here you can see reusable dog pee pads as a keyword. We threw it on a little, poster card, if you will, to try and emphasize the keyword. There's a lot of ways you could add a keyword to a main image. We did not, when we did the first initial test here, there's no keywords on any of these main images. If we scroll down, in fact, I don't think we saw a single instance of a keyword on a main image. So what does that teach us? What does
yeah,
that show us? That means if you showed up in this category with a dog leash and you put the
mm,
dog front and center and you put a keyword on the main image, you would have the highest chance of success because nobody else
mm,
basically is doing that. So here we showed the dog and we showed the keyword, and it's a little bit on the tinier side. I like to get a little more aggressive with keywords, truth be told, but it's still present, right? Usable dog pee pads. You can see what it is. You understand what the product is. You understand it immediately. You get it, right? Here's a little bit of a better case example. Quick dry pad, right? 2-pack. You can see how easy it is to read that. So if we were to go look at the dog leashes and figure out how we could do this for them, this is game changing, right? Like this doubled the sales of the pee pad brand Easy Whelp. So if we look at dog pee pads and we look at the search and we scroll here, what we're going to see is that a lot of dogs are making appearances on the main image. It's on the packaging for this one. It's on the front of that main image. It's on the packaging for that one. Dogs everywhere, right? So why
mm,
hasn't the
yeah,
leash category adopted this? It's a good question, right? There's all kinds
yeah,
of reasons that could be the case. But I'm here to tell you, I'm here to preach that if you give the
mm,
consumer a better experience on the search page, they're more likely to click on you. If you show
mm,
them, one of the first things that you pointed out was the color options, right? We haven't even clicked the listing yet, and we're still talking about which one would we rather click on. Right now, the consumer makes a visceral, immediate click. Right? If we talk about psychology, I just got off the phone with Joseph Kim. He's got a PhD in philosophy. He's a very successful businessman, and
mm,
you know, it's very interesting to see how decisions are made. And he was talking to me this morning about how there's the logic part of our brain, and then there's the gut check part of our brain. And he was explaining that we have a hard time explaining or putting into words the gut part of our decision making process. So what I want to do
mm,
here is try and address the gut check because it's very difficult, right? Because logically, we came up with a few things. We came up with colors, we came up with the dog, we came up with reviews, the bestseller badge. But if we try to really understand it, and this is probably when I'm going to start looking at some examples here. So I'll pull up a couple of examples, right? Here's a
yeah,
before and after of a commodity item for smudge sticks. And the only difference between these two images is that the commodity now has packaging behind it to have a giant keyword called smudge sticks. And
Yeah.
and by adding that keyword, the brain immediately associates what the item is. And if I used a cursory different keyword other than smudge sticks, let's say I did sage candle, and I see the smudge sticks, I'll immediately understand what the product is, what I'm looking at. Right? Now, dog leashes are pretty easy for the brain to understand what I'm looking at, right? But if we sat down and looked at a bunch of different products, there could be a lot of different items that you wouldn't necessarily understand the use of them or what they're for. Let's look at this one. On this left side of this image right here, why would you click on that listing? What is that product for? Ignore the right side for a moment. Just look at the left. First thing that you think of.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm struggling to understand the product. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Right?
yeah.
You know it's basically yellow,
Yeah.
right? You're like, I
Yeah.
think I'm looking at a yellow journal. That's like what the consumer gets to, right? Now, same question
Exactly.
on the right. What is this product?
Yeah. It's a product for babies for 6 to 12 age. Yeah.
And
And it's the journal.
what else do you notice? I'll blow it
It's
up.
a exactly.
What else do you notice?
The cartoons, like,
The cartoons. Oh, there's actual graphics inside of this journal, right?
exactly.
And
Exactly.
the one on the left, I mean, it kind of looks like a journal, but you're not really sure. The one on the right, it says it's a continuation journal for kids. It's not for a 40-year-old man. No, it is for kids who want to look at characters and write a journal. And it's for kids age 6 through 12. We changed this main image for my good friend over in the UK, and it tripled his sales. This guy did not even have
Cool.
A+ content live on the listing yet. That's how unoptimized everything was. And he didn't have a budget. He couldn't afford to pay me. So I said, no problem. I'm going to do this for free. And I gave him a new main image. I tripled his sales within 7 days. Within 7 days, it tripled his sales. Calls me back up and he says, Steven, this is amazing. You've completely changed my business. And then he started paying me money, and we did more business together. He's like, what else can you do? Right? The point of the story is that if you start with the main image, you can affect the trajectory of your outcome on Amazon faster than any other method, which is why I'm spending so much time talking about it. All right, let's do a fun example here. So on the left, you're looking at cooking baking sheets, but on the right, you're looking at grandma's cookies. You can smell the difference, right? Like now, instead of you thinking about baking sheets, now you're thinking about grandma's cookies. Which one are you more likely to click on? Right?
Yeah. The second.
No question. This is one of my favorite examples that we've done because it does everything that you would hope for. It shows what the product is used for. It's for making cookies. It tells you what the product is for. It actually has the keyword literally stamped on the product, right? Now, some of the people that are listening to this are going to start thinking in their head, but isn't this against terms of services on Amazon? And they're thinking to themselves, you can't put a keyword on a product. And I'm here to tell you, stop trying to understand Amazon's rules. The framework that you should be adopting instead is to simply do one thing. What do customers want? Does the customer want the image on the left or the image on the right? I think they want the image on the right.
And after.
And,
Exactly.
and if you look back at Amazon's framework, what's Amazon's mission? To be the most customer-centric company in the world. So do you think Amazon is going to be angry at you for giving customers what they want? No. And
Exactly.
I'm going to go to Google right now. I'm going to type in biggest household brand names, and we're going to get a list of this, right? So let's go. Usually when I do this search, I get like a list of brand names. So let's go. Biggest household brand names. Let's type that in. Let's see if I get the list I was looking for. All right, here we go. So Kleenex, Clorox, Chapstick, Colgate, Ziploc. So if we take these big brand names and we go over to Amazon, do you think these big brand names are doing this on Amazon? I bet you they are. Let's find out. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for whatever reason, that's not loading. So I'll go back here. So I'm going to type in Kleenex. And,
Hmm.
and now Amazon search page is not responding. Fun. All right. Hopefully that goes through. It's like not responding at all. But basically what we're about to see is we're going to see each and every one of these brands doing exactly what I'm talking about. The big household brand names, right? HP
Yeah.
Printer does it. Kleenex does it. Clorox does it. Chapstick, Colgate, Ziploc. All of them do it. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, all right. So maybe we'll go off the share screen for a minute while Amazon decides to load for us today. Maybe I just crashed Amazon with that last search.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
but you get the idea, right? So click-through rate is the easiest thing you can control.
Hmm.
If you think about this, like what should the homework item be for the listeners? It should be to spend 10 hours perfecting the main image of a product. Okay. There's
Mm.
a few ways you can go about doing this. You could run some A/B tests on your product against the competitors. You could create a new design on your own product and A/B test that. You could do some heat map testing to see where consumers are clicking. A lot
Hmm.
of different things you can do. So I'll pause there. Ask me anything.
Hmm. Yeah. So actually, I want to know more in detail about the Amazon policy regarding the main image. So, as you already mentioned, that some people say that it's against Amazon TOS, and Amazon may object about it. And honestly, it's true. A lot of people ask us as well when we are creating their images. They say that it's against Amazon TOS, and they don't let any other text and anything um, on it. So did you get any violation or any notification from Amazon in this regard? You have
Never.
worked a lot on the main image for a lot of
Yeah,
brands.
I have access to thousands of Amazon seller accounts. I've never had a listing
Hmm.
yanked. I've never received a violation, no suspensions, nothing. I have,
Oh, cool.
however, had images suppressed. But the thing about
Hmm.
image suppressions is that is the easiest thing in the world to fix, right? So if you
Yes.
accidentally bleed your image off the screen, you might end up with a
Mhm.
suppression, right? If you put something that's not a part of the product and it's like separate in the image and it looks like a starburst, yes, that will cause an image suppression. So there are some best practices. But let me impact the fact that Colgate's doing it right now. Okay. If we look at
Mhm.
this, do you think that 4-pack number is on the actual packaging?
No.
It's not. I've purchased that. Do you think that brown box has the brand name pack of 6 on it? Nope,
No.
it does not. So that's Colgate that does this. Kleenex. Do you
Yeah.
think that Kleenex box comes with 8 boxes, 992 issues right on the packaging? It
No.
does not. Do you think Clorox has the 2 lemon crest fresh print on there, or has that little red bar on there? It in fact
No.
does not. Uh,
Hmm.
you can look at product after product, and these brands are adding all of these things in here. Here's a blatant one, right? That little starburst with the purple with microfiber towel, that is most definitely not on the packaging, and they're putting it in here. One of my other favorite examples is HP Printer, and they don't do this on every single item, but you can find it if you scroll down far enough. We're going to find a paper right here, 6 months of ink included, right there. This example has been up for at least 4 years. I've used it many, many times. I've posted it on
Yeah.
LinkedIn and every social network. I bet you some people have reported this listing. It has never gone down, right?
It's a very creative way, by the way.
So it is. I'm not here to tell you it's in terms of services or not. I'm here to tell
Hmm.
you that do what's best for the customer. And if you
Hmm.
serve the customer, Amazon will not have a problem with that. You may get
Hmm.
hit with a robot, but by and large, you could follow all the rules and still get hit by a robot. Did you see any of your accounts or listings get taken down for the seed thing that happened this last week?
No.
So Amazon's robots went crazy and started saying, "Oh, you're selling seeds, you must have this FDA regulation or this little document." And I'm like, "I don't sell seeds, I sell floss. I don't sell seeds, I sell tweezers. What the heck, Amazon?" Right? So even if you do all the things correctly, if you spend dozens of hours reading the help files, it's going to do you no
Yeah.
good. You just need to focus on your product, do what's best for the customer. If you use a simple framework, it will transcend the line by line. It'll transcend the
Mhm.
challenges that you might have with help files or Amazon violations or all of these bullcrap things that you have to go through when selling on Amazon. So that's why I think this is so important. I think that um, there are a couple of best practices that you can do when you update your main image, but every category is a little bit different. You want to show and tell the product. You want to show as many options as possible, show those colors, right? It attracts your eye. Your eye was attached to that. You even brought that up. If you have a pet
Mhm.
product and don't show a pet in the main image, you're crazy because as a marketer, what are the things that sell products more often than nothing else? Showing puppies, kittens, and babies, right? Right? So if you sell a pet item and don't have it in the main image, I think you're crazy. If you sell a baby
Mm.
product and don't put a baby in the main image, I think you're crazy. Okay. Now, certain categories may have a little bit harder to get things done in, like showing a model in a clothing item for an adult product, a little bit harder to get done. Uh,
Yeah.
but by and large, if you have a random item, take my tumbler here, and then you had a
Mhm.
box. Imagine this was the box the tumbler came in, and you put a keyword onto the box to describe what the tumbler is, that it's a 32-ounce stainless steel. You're going to get more clicks. Why? Because
Mm.
because it tells what this product is. It shows what the product is. So show all the accessories if it comes with accessories. Show me all the product details. If
Mhm.
your item
Great.
does get suppressed, by the way, it could take you less
Mm.
than 50 minutes to fix. You just reload the old image, you're good to go. You could just update the image by a pixel and reload it, probably good to go. You could do a template file, try it, loading the same exact image, and you might be good to go. That happens from time to
Mhm.
time.
Great. Great. Okay, so my question is, what are the things or details we should mention on the image or on the box, because there are a lot of different aspects of the product. For example, it can be weight for some product, it can be the pack size, the number of packs there in the product or items. So what do you normally suggest? There could be different colors.
You want to show as much information as you can without it being overwhelming, right? If
Mhm.
if you sell something that you can't identify in less than 3 seconds, that's a problem,
Mhm.
right? So you need to
Mhm.
put a keyword on there that tells you what the product is. The keyword should be gigantic, right? So I know this is your podcast, but I'm asking you a couple of questions to kind of prove some of my points. So I'm going to ask you another question if that's okay. What is
Yeah,
the
I
last
feel
item?
I'm the guest.
Yeah. What is the last item you bought on Amazon?
Amazon is not available here in Pakistan, so I normally yeah buy
Well, you got me
from
there
other
then.
countries.
But
Yeah,
what was the last item you bought online? Let's go with that.
2 days ago.
And what was it?
It's a blind for the car. Like, what do you say? The it decreases the light. Even if it's night, it's night
Got it.
view. Yeah,
What
you got
what
it.
was
So
the
I bought
brand?
that.
What was the name of the brand?
Mm, I
Exactly.
forgot.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, every time I've ever done this, nobody remembers the name of their brand. That's the point of this exercise, right? If
Hmm.
and the point I'm making here, but when you go on Amazon, what do you typically see? You see the brand name in these main images gigantically, right? You see it taking up
Mhm.
lots and lots of space. And I'm here to tell you, don't do that, right? Like instead, make the keyword gigantic, make the brand name subtle because nobody's going to remember the brand name anyway. Amazon and
Mm.
e-commerce is a brand name killer. And so Thrasio, although Thrasio is a bankrupt company at this point, they do
Yeah.
have some historical success stories. So I'm going to show the screen one more time. And this time, and
Sure.
then we're going to do another pet product since you made this the pet theme conversation today. And that
Mhm.
is this product right here. Can you read that for me? What does that say?
Mm,
That word's right there. Odor
yeah.
eliminator. I thought it'd be easy enough for you to be able to read, but maybe not on the screen share. So
Yeah.
where is the brand name? It takes you a little while to see where the brand name is, but it's there, angry orange right there. Okay. But
Yeah.
odor
Exactly.
eliminator is 3 times larger in the text
Exactly.
bolding than the brand name. This is
I
correct.
thought the order is the name of brand.
It's not. That's the keyword, right? Stain remover,
Great.
odor eliminator. We could go down this list. They have basically almost all of their products, odor eliminator or stain remover, right? Almost
Mm,
every single one of them. And what happened was is Thrasio bought Angry Orange, watered down its product, and updated the packaging. They made the product less effective, updated the packaging, and made the keyword 3 times bigger and 7x'd their sales. Those were
cool.
the only 2 changes they made. They made the product inferior, less effective, and changed the packaging to put the keyword bigger and 7x their sales. Okay. It's super powerful. Makes 4 bottles. They put that on there too, right? There's another TOS violation for you, right? But like, this is how powerful it is. The only thing they could probably do better is throw a dog on there somehow, right?
Mm.
and and in their
Yeah.
category, that may be a little tricky, but you can put it on the packaging. You could. There's all kinds of things you can do. So I love talking about this because there's a lot of preconceived notions about what you can and can't do, and I'm here to tell you to go right up to the corner of every pixel you can possibly fill in, make a giant keyword, add the accessories, show what the product's for, make me want to click your product. And if you do those things, your sales are going to go up. Your traffic is going to go up. Your conversion rate is going to go up. And a lot of people are sometimes surprised by that last one. They're like, what do you mean? My conversion is going to go up if my CTR is up? Yes. Why? Because consumers understand what they're clicking on and are more likely to purchase it because they made the purchase decision before they got to the page. They're like, this is for
Mm,
me.
yeah.
That's the one. I want this.
Exactly.
Click, purchase. They don't even
Mm,
read the bullet
exactly.
points, right? Text is for
Yeah.
robots, images are for people. The main image is going to affect your sales more than anything else. It's in your control that doesn't cost you money.
Mm, that's great. So, um, I know we can't put everything on the main image, like the infographic image or any lifestyle image. We have to take care, like what we have to put, so that Amazon don't don't go and cut us. So, what care should we take about the main image?
I think you should be as aggressive as possible because this is such a low risk activity. You'll know if you're
Mm-hmm.
suppressed within the first 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Suppressions are super rare, they're easy to fix, and you can just revert right back with no problem. So that's why I advocate this so publicly. This is why this is one of the first things I do for my customers at my Amazon guy. It's because it's
Mm-hmm.
highly effective, it's very impactful, and it's easy to execute.
Great, great. So I'm asking another question for the guys who never change their main image due to this fear. So, what's the worst case scenario if
That
if
your image
Amazon
gets
ever?
yeah, that your listing gets suppressed for 15 minutes. That is the absolute worst case scenario.
Oh, that's cool then.
Seriously. Or some people on social media will be like, that's a terms of service violation. That's also worst
Yeah.
case scenario. People may point and stare at you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's great, and it was also eye opener for me for some points. Like I was also under impression that we shouldn't go that much aggressive on the main image, and we should keep it the as per the Amazon standard. Like they say that it should be occupied by the product itself. 80% of the image, so things like that. So yeah, those were great. Apart from the main image, what do you think which increases the CTR,
So we
which is also in our control? So for example, you mentioned that the
Price,
price and the
reviews.
reviews.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the title. That's it. There's nothing else that affects it. We could
Great.
talk about product selection, right? Which product to select based on the competition. Obviously, if you get a in-demand product with less competition, your CTR by default will be higher. But we're assuming everybody's already chosen their product at this point, and they just want to make it sell more. And those are the things that are in your control. Main image, without a doubt, spend 10 hours fixing your main image, and it will pay the biggest dividends you've ever spent.
Hmm. That's great. That's great. In the last, do you have any closing comments for the new sellers? Anyone, all sellers who never tried this men's image CTR?
Well, we do have a little promo. If you are an Amazon seller watching this, we sell main images for $100. If you would like to get 50% off, use the promo code CTR and go to the website myamazonguy.com/img and use promo code CTR, and we'll do it for 50% off. We use this as a way for customers to pay us to become our customers, right? Like it's just an
That's
opportunity for everybody. And if you're an agency or a consultant, you just got some value there too. Why? Because I'm signaling to you how I do lead gen, right? And so if you want a good way to do lead gen, you should do the same thing I'm doing, right? Because it works for me. I built a $20 million ARR agency. We manage 800 millions of dollars on Amazon every single year, 400 brands actively full service managed. So that tip there can be very powerful for others, and you guys can replicate that. My why in life is to level up everybody around me, not just my own company, not just my own employees or my own family, but to level you up, to level up the audience, to level up the whole world. Because I want to live in a world that's a better place. I want to make 1,000-year impact on this planet. I want the world to be a better place for my kids, and their grandkids, and so forth. And I believe the things that we talked about today, while may seem tactical in nature, make the world a better place.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Thank you so much, Steven, for coming to the show and sharing your vision. Yeah, it's very like inspirational. And I will mention the link in the video description, which Steven mentioned about the main image. And yeah, you guys can check the link to the page and also study the landing page. It's also very attractive, and you already read two case studies in this video and podcast. So yeah, I will share the link and you guys can check out. Thank you so much, Steven,
Thank,
for
thank,
once
thank
again
you.
for showing. Yeah, thank you so much.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so
Thanks
much.
for having me.
Thank you. Bye bye.